Hey everyone, Blake Sloan here. Just wanted to do a case study about listing agents, about home sellers, and horror stories I see every single week in this business. And I want to share it on our blog for people to understand and see this is what happens every single time when I see someone go to a discount agent. They step over dollars to pick up pennies because they're so worried about what an agent's going to choose and they want the cheapest commission. I find this so mind-boggling that I've been doing this for 20 years, and I talk about this on my radio show every week. This seller I'm about to show you cost himself 30% of their hard-earned equity because they wanted to save 2 to 3% in commissions. Literally, they underpriced their house by $80,000 plus dollars so they could save about 5 or 6 grand in commission. It's unbelievable. And so I see this perfect example. I want to save this to have it to send to people in the future that are not really sure what to do, and the crazy disadvantage they have by going to discount agent. I actually reached out to this agent and said, look, you should be ashamed of yourself. You absolutely stole these people's hard equity. I looked up the agent. Agent sold 2 properties here in our marketplace in the last 12 months. He's also licensed in Florida, but he lives here. And it's a disgrace. It's absolutely disgusting to see people build hard equity for such a long time. And this couple here is going to a retirement home. They need every bit of equity. They just gave away $80,000 instantly in terms of what they did. And we met with them, and they were actually talking to a neighbor agent who offered a 1.5% commission overall. And that's just on the listing side. And then I'm sure when they had a buyer come in, the buyer, negotiated to get a buyer agent commission, which puts you at an even more disadvantage, which is why you always want to have that established up front. And so that's just an example here I want to run through so you can see the numbers and see the reality of people. And they think initially that they had a great opportunity, that they did great. It sold in less than 3 days. And what happened was they underpriced about 80 grand, had terrible marketing, terrible positioning, and they went with the lowest commission, which cost them 30% plus of their hard equity. And I'll show you right here. It's a perfect example. This is the address. You can look it up, tax records. Here's the property. It's a nice, beautiful property. And when I saw the price, I about fell out my chair. They listed it at $211,000. The RVM, which is basically, if you see here, this is what the estimated value is by automations using MLS data, public data, like Zillow, Realtor.com, all this stuff. And you see the average minimum could be 263, the max 328. They listed at $211,000, which is absolutely disgusting. I messaged the agent, look, you can't even buy a mobile home on leased land for that hardly. You can buy a mobile home with some land. In most cases, all day, every day. This is a beautiful single-family home. And here's the crazy part. Here's how you tell. Price to estimated value, 71%. This property easily is worth $300,000 at this RVM, where they should have at least listed. It would have sold quickly. And that was what the agent messaged back. Well, you don't know their motivation and their situation. Well, actually, I do because we met with them. But you entice them with this ridiculous low commission to make them think, and then you obviously misled them on price to make them feel like that they need to price it low so you could get your quick money and move on. And in my opinion, steal these people's hard-earned equity, which is absolutely disgusting. And so I tried to get on a phone call with the agent. He wouldn't get on a phone call with me because it's sad. It's very sad. These people, I'll show you the notes here. They listed at 71% of value, and you can see it under a contract pending within 3 days, obviously, is kind of what happened there. And so you can see here the listing, the property, decent condition. It's got a couple crazy colors, but it's still amazing condition. It's got corrugated countertops. It's got stainless steel appliances. It made a little paint on the cabinets, but it's still in good condition. Floor's in good condition. Tile floor. The paint would be updated, but it's still a great single-family home that we looked at and said, hey, we're at $300,000. They want an instant offer with us. We advise them that based on their situation, you better to a more traditional route, which is our quick sale program, to be able to sell to an owner-occupant. But here's the crazy part. I want you to see these notes here in what this is overall, because I want to show the notes here. They resubmitted here. I want you to look at here. He followed up. Our agent followed up, and they went back and forth. Seems they're going with their neighbor, an agent, and he's actually not at C20, he's a different company, at 1.5% commission. So that was the determining factor. They went for 1.5% commission, and that's the number one question anybody ever calls here and asks, what do you charge? What do you charge? What do you charge? That's the wrong question. The question should be, how do you get me the most amount of money for my home? How much can you get me for it? And how fast can you sell it for? And what's your track record like in properties like this? Oh yeah, by the way, what's your marketing budget? How do you get me more exposure for my house? Those are the right questions. Everyone that calls the office asks the wrong question. That's like me calling an attorney, right? I have a criminal case against me. I call on all these attorneys and just ask, hey, who's the cheapest attorney? What do you think's going to happen if I do that? I get destroyed in the courtroom. Not understanding, is it civil? Is it criminal? Do you specialize in criminal? What's your track record like for criminal law, right? What do you feel about my case? Like, those are the questions you want to ask an attorney. Why would you just go to realtors and pick the same? If I pick a car and I call on every dealership in Myrtle Beach and want the cheapest BMW, what do you think I'm going to get? I'm going to get the absolute worst BMW there is. If I pick an agent strictly on commission, you're going to lose your hard equity just like these people, and I see it every single week. And I thought about this. I'm like, I want to make sure we post this so we can have this so somebody see. I can send this to somebody as a case study, right? They with 1.5, we recommended. They have a second home here. That's a different address down there. But we fully say, hey, you can sell this thing for $300,000 all day, every day, right now. And guess what? They priced it below here by $95,000 ish, you know, basically where you're at. Let's say 89,000, actually, sorry, 89,000 to where it should be. And again, 71% of estimated value they price it at. And so if you're thinking about selling and you're a homeowner, make yourself at least understand how the process works and how to ask the right questions. But I've been doing this 20 years, been with thousands of home sellers, and no one's ever really asked me the right question. They ask the wrong question every single time, and the question is, how much do you charge? I had somebody call the office this morning, want to know how much you charge. And so it's the wrong question to lead with. If I buy anything based on the cheapest price, guess what I get? I'm like this homeowner who gave $80,000, in this case, what, $89,000 away. I would have listed at $300,000, $299,000, $990, and we were negotiated from there in that scenario. And it was sold very quickly. And so that's a problem you have here. They weren't in a super difficult bind. They weren't in foreclosure or anything. They only owed $100,000 on the property in this situation. Yeah, the 117 is the note they have on the other one. This is Ren's Land, the other two properties here. But the reality is, they went with an agent who did a 1.5% commission, and they ended up. So let's say you're talking 300,000. Your difference, maybe $6,000. You know that it would have cost more to have an expert in this, but they let $6,000 stand in the way of them losing, in my opinion, $89,000. And so this is the problem that I see every single day. And they're ecstatic initially, and that we talked to agent. The agent said, well, I sold it very quickly. Well, no shit, you sold it very quickly. You underpriced it by $89,000. It's a disgrace to the industry, a disgrace to people who are home sellers. And so I want to share this and record this in real time right now so that we can go through and share with future home sellers like yourself on how to make good decisions and how to make the right answers here. But this is facts, right? They paid $147,000 in 2008. And so all that time, right, 2018, 10 years, add 6 more years, so 16 years later, they only made $50,000 on the house. Right? Let's say $60,000. I'm not sure what the exact selling price was, but let's say they make $60,000 on the house in 16 years, which is disgusting. They should have had $300,000 sale price here, listed it, sold it very quick with the right marketing. You can tell here the photos are not good, the photo area is not good. You can tell this is a point-and-shoot camera. It's not a DSLR camera. The photography is not good at all, and which is why exactly what you get the discount agent. They underprice it. They don't fix up stuff. It looks absolutely terrible from a marketing standpoint, but the reality is if it would have been handled correctly by a true expert who knows what they're doing, and we would have sold it as is, we would not have even had them change the colors. We would have done great painting, great photography, and we'd have been okay with the painting and just said, hey, look, we'll give it an allowance for that. Everything else structurally looks great. The marketing is not quality, and so this is what you run into. And so perfect example of what happens when you go the discount agent. I want to have this as a case study, and I'm going to put it on our website so we can have that. So if you have any questions, submit here. Give us a call, 843-808-SOLD, but you want to make sure that when you're dealing with your largest asset, you're not gambling with the discount agent. If I get charged with a crime I didn't commit, the last thing I want is the cheapest attorney. I want the best attorney who specializes in that type of law, who gives me a competitive advantage in the courtroom. You want the same exact thing when you're dealing with your largest asset. And so if you want to know more, reach out, call me, 843-808-SOLD. Look forward to talking to you soon.